Okay, 2024-0203, approval to allocate funds for contribution to the Veterans Center of East Tennessee. Ms. Barker has made the motion to send this forward.
Second.
Second by Mr. Gillum. The floor is now open for discussion. We've got a few representatives from the Veterans Center here with us today. Would you all like to?
Well, I would like to add, there is some that, I don't know if they've misplaced their folders or if they just don't have one, but I'd like to distribute folders again to anyone who would like one. If not, I have calendars made up so that you guys can see what we do on a regular basis. Now, this doesn't include just the random events or fundraisers that we have. This is just every day at the center. So if anybody'd like one of those.
Can I have one of those for my?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I do. Well, thank you.
You want a folder or just a calendar? Anybody else need calendars? Oh, I know. An industrial copier would be real nice.
Thank you.
One more?
Yeah.
There you go, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Paul, would you like to say anything else or address the committee?
I want to thank y'all for your time. We do have a couple new recovery programs that we are implementing on into the center. As you can notice on Saturdays, we're going to be implementing Narcotics Anonymous for the veterans of the community. Now, a lot of these programs, our Wednesday meeting is the only meeting that we have open to the community. Our Vets in Recovery meeting, it is closed specifically for the veteran because veterans in recovery need just a little bit extra special treatment than your regular civilian does. So that's just some of the newer things that we've got, and we're continuing to grow.
How about the PTSD?
Well, we do have the PTSD meeting started. When are they starting? Tomorrow. Yeah, they are starting tomorrow. The PTSD meetings are starting. The Vet Center will be coming in and they'll be having the PTSD meetings there.
How many of those that attend your PTSD meetings
We have
also
6.
struggle with
Narcotics.
Co-occurring diseases.
All of them. They all kind of concur together.
Does anybody have any questions for
Mr. Chairman?
Yes,
No.
sir. Mr. Klump?
No, go ahead.
No,
When he
just-
gets done, I'll like to speak.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Paul?
What do you plan on spending? You have board of directors.
Yes, absolutely.
The board of
Our
directors.
board of
Here,
directors
raise your
is
hand.
just about all here. I've got probably 4 or 5 of my board of directors here today.
And what is the plans for this month?
To help with expansion.
Expansion.
Yes, we need a lot of newer stuff, a lot of newer literature, stuff for our leather shop and our classes. We're about to start up our woodworking shop. We have a full budget with a full breakdown as to what the money will be going for, word for word.
Where is it?
Right there.
Right there in front of you. That's the budget in front of you right there.
Does anybody else need one? They passed them out last time. It's in the folder.
Mr. Paul, do you have any other questions?
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Can I share something?
Yes, sir. And just for the record, just state your name.
Right for me. I think most of you know me. I've spent my life in this community, been a pastor for over 50 years, and let me start by saying I wouldn't have your job. I know that you can't please everybody, and I know there's a lot of organizations out there that need funding, that help people in our community. But let me just share with you the difference about Veteran Center. Look, the Veteran Center just doesn't help people, but the Veteran Center actually saves people's lives. If you've never seen a PTSD episode, it's not good. You know, and the programs that we have for alcohol and drug abuse, that they didn't get addicted to drugs and alcohol because they were bad. They got addicted to drugs and alcohol because of what they had been through, trying to mask the hurt that they brought back from war. And if you could just be there to hear one of them say, this place saved my life. We have several that have just lost spouses, and they'll tell you that the Veteran Center has become their family. And it actually is not just helping people, but it's saving men's lives that serve this country. Mike and Jessica have operated the center for 2 years. The only income they've had is that Jessica works 3 16-hour shifts a week, caring for autistic children. Mike couldn't work and be in the center every day. We're open 5 days a week, 9:30 to 3:30. So they have sacrificed their life to see this come to pass. I'm what they call the overseer. And let me just really emphasize that there's never a decision made. We have a treasurer, never a penny of money spent without the approval of the board. And I'll make a personal commitment that whatever money, if you choose to help fund us, I'll make a personal commitment that every penny of that money will be accounted for. And a personal commitment, too, that every penny of it will be well spent. Come to humbly ask you, please help us.
Brother Billy Ray, what's your position with the Veteran Center?
That what?
What's your position, your official title?
I'm called the overseer.
Just the overseer.
Yeah. That means I deal with
Billy Ray helps me make all the business decisions. All of my business decisions go through me and him and my wife.
So he holds an official capacity?
Yes, absolutely.
He's the man.
It'd be like a senior advisor.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Bless you.
I would like to add one thing. I'm Kathy Durr, I'm a grant writer, and I volunteer my time a little bit. Sorry. So, for many grants, the organization has to be in operation for 2 or 3 years. So now we're on our 2nd year. So funding for them has not been plentiful, and now we're on our 2nd year, so we're expecting to become a little bit more plentiful. But in the meantime, they've operated on air and prayer, basically. So this will help us get a good footing, expand the services, get a copy machine, some computers, and other things that they mentioned. And then that'll be like a springboard to the 2nd and 3rd year, that we can go ahead and get some grants under our belt. But they're just, that, Nancy. Organizations have to show a history of a 1, 2, or 3 years. So I just wanted to say that.
Are there plans to have an audit done on the organization as years move forward, like an official?
In our bylaws, we have people directed to do audits.
Yes, we have
that are
an
not
audit team.
affiliated.
Who, like, can you give me an idea of a contractor that you would hire to audit?
No, we
Deb
did not
said. Deb
list.
said she had somebody that we would use, I can't remember what their name was.
But it is listed in our bylaws.
Let me just say, it's hard for 501(c)(3)s to get audits. They're usually $10,000. I don't have that kind of money. I've been in operation for 27 years. So we depend on our 990 to.
Yeah, we had filed our 990 and we were about to file our next 990. And then we do have two appointed people outside of the organization. That it may be just veterans in general, but it's not anyone affiliated with the Veterans Center to do the audit.
And basically, it's, what do you call them? What's that word I'm looking for? Accounting, investment. What's that word I'm looking for?
Financial officer.
Well, no, the accounting process, like a profit and loss balance statement. They're gathering their materials right now. I called Deb, who is our accountant, and she said they're gathering the materials to finish the last year's profit and loss. And so best accounting practices, I guess is the word, or basic accounting practices is what we're using. But like they said, there will be, once they do that, they'll have someone else look at it too.
So you have, excuse me, you have an accountant that does your 990, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
So, and
Debbie
that's
Tapp.
public record
Deb-
that anybody can go look at.
Yeah, Debbie Tapp. And you'll know her, right? She worked at the Shepherd Center, now she works, she worked for One Accord, now she's with Heritage Committee, and she's a long time. Rogersville, is that the word? Okay. All right. Thank you.
Mr. Klontz?
I'm Larry Font, most of you know, County Commissioner. I spent the last week trying to get a handle on this situation. I wasn't able to be here at the last meeting, and I'm sort of handicapped. I've had eye surgery, and I was just handed this today, so I haven't had opportunity to read it. And I've spoke with people in the Veterans Administration and fellow commissioners and veterans, and I toured the facility this morning, and I was very impressed with it. So I'm going to do further study. I know we're coming up with the vote next Monday. The only thing came to me that I would do a little bit different from my experience in life was, instead of dispersing all the $95,000 at one time, that we would dispense it in increments of 6 months, and they're 7 months behind in their rent at the moment, so that's over $9,000. And I've done some figuring and spoke to some of these gentlemen.
Hang on just a second.
I'll tell you what,
That background is
can we come back to that? We'll come back to that. We'll let Mr. Klontz speak.
I'm just going on what somebody told me. I would determine what it would take to bring us up, if there is back expenses, and we would pay those up and give them a certain amount of money per month for 6 months, and see how that does. And at the end of that 6 months, we would give them a financial statement to this committee and to Mr. Eric Buchanan, and see after 6 months what we need to do to go forward. Maybe we'll give them more, maybe we'll give them less, but I think we got enough money to keep them in operational for a couple of years. And I'll be honest, I'm on the fence. It sounds great, and I would like to vote for it, but I'm not going to state today that I am. So I'm still getting information. Thank you.
Yeah, so someone might want to respond to something.
Yes, the statement about the back rent, that is already been discussed with the landlord, and we are replacing the heating and air conditioning unit in order to pay for that, which we're trying to do a fundraiser to raise that money to replace that, to offset the back grant.
Well, that sounds great, but would you like just to have money from
Well,
us?
yeah, but we didn't plan it that way. Our budget is laid out for something else, so we're not trying to mess with the budget.
Okay.
I'll tell you, I'll recognize you one more time, and we're going to move on, okay?
Okay, is this money like, I'm trying to remember really where this pool of money's coming from. Isn't it from,
Opioid abatement funds. Eric, were you here to?
Opioid past remediation funds, yes, that's
so
correct.
basically, it's not the county's money
No, it's
other,
absolutely the county's
Yes, it
funds.
is.
well, I mean, it's not, it's coming from a lawsuit.
So the short story to that is, we received those funds through settlements, no, not through yes, through settlements from Big Pharma that reimbursed us for the cost of the opioid epidemic. So, yes, it kind of
Okay.
does come from the amount of money that the county has spent over the last decade in the opioid war. So,
Okay.
I could argue that it really is county money.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Eric, how do you feel about this? As far as the statement of it being the county's funds?
No, the 95,000 in general.
I'm not a voting member on that one.
You're a taxpayer.
I am a taxpayer.
Mr. Chairman,
I forgot.
I'm sorry. I know there's some opposition on the commission against this, and I thought if what I just discussed would make it more palatable to some of the commissioners if we had some control over the money for a short time, and then we could go back and do whatever they think we need to do.
It's not unprecedented. We do have contributions that we pay monthly, quarterly, annually. So I mean, that's something we haven't done historically in the past. I think originally it was based more on a cash flow issue. That's no longer the case, but we can implement that if that makes the commission feel more comfortable.
So can we, the resolution as written has my name. The resolution is now on the floor. We could hear an amendment from the committee if the committee would like to state that we would break that up. I'll leave it up to the committee how you would like to move forward.
Chairman,
Yes, sir.
if I may address that. I think that we've all had the opportunity to look at these people and see what's happening. The money's there. When we allocate monies, I know we may pay monthly bills and everything and allocate so much a month. But in this situation, I feel that we don't need to be in the county business to where we have to have a county. As far as that goes, every month. I personally trust a lot of people sitting in this room, and I am going to vote for it, and I'm going to vote to give them the money at one time, allocate the money at one time.
I'll be recognized.
Mr. Chairman. So my question would be, if you did split up the payments, the only way that would really make sense is if there was some type of standardized audit process to say, well, if they don't give us, if there's no reason to stop giving them the money, then if we allocate it, it's allocated, whether you pay it once every 3 months or once a month or all in one lump sum, the money's allocated unless you amend it to have a stipulation in there to where you could withhold funds. If it's allocated, it's allocated, right? In other words, I don't see the value in doing that unless you had something unless we want something from them to continue giving them money. I'm not sure that makes a lot of sense to me, though, to do it that way. And maybe at the full commission, Mr. Klontz, that might be something that you or one of the other commissioners want to bring up. They're certainly welcome to do that. I'm not sure that I see the value in doing that, though, unless you have some type of audit process that we want to put them through after we give them the first little bit. That does make sense.
I would like to ask, Mr. Chairman, if I could ask a direct question to Eric. Is there any other people we make donations to that you audit?
We require certain documentation before the releasing of the funds, but no, we do not. You all put some stipulations on me to do some safeguardings for the matching funds for the Humane Society.
I agree with
But
that.
outside of that, no.
then I guess, Mr. Chairman, my question is, why are we applying it here? I either believe in the people or I don't believe in them, and I'll vote accordingly.
May I be
Set that-
recognized?
I had one behind you that wanted to be, and
Well,
yeah.
I'm Jeff Scott, I'm on the board of directors. Not that that carries any serious weight, but my thing is, we've been operating for 2 years on a shoestring with donations. We've helped a lot of people, and I have to wonder if since this money came from the pharmaceutical companies in a settlement, is there anybody else in the county that's getting funding that's actually providing the service for drug and alcohol abuse or counseling or anything like that? Is that money actually going to anybody else in the county that's actually trying to make a difference?
So the short answer to that is yes. We did help to fund the facility while it's not stationed in Hawkins County. It's actually in Carter County. But there are beds available for Hawkins County residents that go to criminal court and get remanded for drugs. So outside of that, Eric, I don't know if there's any other.
I'm talking about
We donated some funds to EMS, we donated some funds to the drug department, so yes.
So in terms of treatment, actual treatment for drug addiction abstinence programs.
In this county, nobody can walk in a place and say, I'm an addict or I'm an alcoholic and actually get counseling that day.
I can't answer that. Except
We
for
do.
you all. Except for you all.
We do. Now, I don't know how much weight that carries, but if you save one life, there are some of us here who are missing a significant others. And if you save one life, how much is one life worth? And when you save a bunch of them and you put that all together, I don't know how you budget for that, because it's always important. Every cemetery in the world has people buried there, and those people all meant something to somebody. They may not mean anything to you, but they're all family to somebody. And we're a family.
I'll tell you, I will recognize one more because I appreciate you for volunteering, but we really do have to move on. Okay, so I'll go ahead, sir, if you like.
I'm Richard Thomas, and I just wanted to share with y'all what the vet center has meant to me. I lost my wife a year and a half ago, and I was able to make it during the summer months because I stayed busy in the yard, the garden, and all that stuff, you know, and I kind of stayed out of my head. And when cold weather hit, I went into a deep depression. And my pastor recommended that I come down to the vet center because he knows what we're doing. I'm one of the ones that gets the help with alcoholism. I'm 32 years sober. I go to the AA meetings we have there. I guess what is my title? Volunteer?
Yeah.
I just do whatever is asked of me. I'm going to be teaching the woodworking class. And the thing of it is, I had reached a point to where I didn't care whether I lived or died. My life was totally empty, and my wife and I had a great relationship. When I lost her, it's like half of me's gone. And I started going down. I started going down to the vet center, and it gave me a place to be around people who were veterans like myself. I served in the Navy from 1960 to 66, and that place means a lot to me. If something were to happen, it would shut down, I don't know what I would do, because that's kind of my lifeline right now. They have, we have a chaplain. I go sit down. The first day I walked in that place, Marvin looked at me and said, "You need to talk, don't you?" And we went in his office, and he talked, and I listened. I talked, and he listened. The vet center is, when it snowed, you know, the best way to do is to get help yourself is to help other people. And I went out and shoveled snow. We had other vets that went out and helped people that needed help. So not only are we doing things for individual veterans like me, and I feel like the vet center saved my life, we're also doing things for other people in the community.
Thank you so much, sir.
And I just, sorry, I'm having trouble talking today, but I'm gonna thank you all for the gentleman that y'all went and got in the snow and took him to do his, yes. He had already covered himself up with a blanket and give up. And y'all didn't give up on him. Y'all went and got him and took him where he needed to go. And I want to thank you for that. And then I'm going to call for questions.
Thank you. Question's been called for. Miss Sarah, will you call the roll, please?
Tom Kern,
Yes.
Robbie Palmer,
Yes.
Danny Alves,
Yes.
Nancy Barker,
Yes.
Jason Roach,
Yes.
Joshua Gill.
Yes.
6 yes, motion carried.
Thank you, Mark.
Okay, thank you. Then the next step is the county commissioners need to vote. Next Monday. Do we need to be